And now we're being joined by our executive editor, Niranjan, who's joining us from the Mumbai newsroom. Sagai Raj also continues to be with us. And we have Deshradha Nigam also, who's joining us on this broadcast. Niranjan, you can perhaps take this forward because this certainly is a worrying situation that we're looking at.
Just to give you a little bit of an idea about why and how the story came about, let me tell you that a few days back, you had the horrific gang rape case from Bengaluru, and the investigation into that one case has opened up a Pandora's box about the illegal infiltrators who are swarming India. Let me tell you that in that particular case itself, all accused were Bangladeshis, and then we found out, and we'll play the pictures of the investigation. Sagai Raj will tell you how he went to one particular area, and in that one particular area, there are hundreds and thousands of them. Sagai Raj, why don't you tell our viewers and why this raises many questions?
See, it is an open secret, Niranjan, that Bangladeshis are staying in the outskirts of Bengaluru. If you notice that a few years back, there was a survey which was being done by Bengaluru officials to take note of all these illegal immigrants staying in Bengaluru. And these people went out near Bellanduru and they made these people to vacate from there and try to deport them to Bangladeshi. Within few hours, they relocated from there and went again to the other side of the outskirts of Bengaluru near Oskote, and they started to put a tent and staying there. And talking about a relevant point that you made, Niranjan, that there was a case which was being busted by Karnataka police, that is Bengaluru police, where illegal Bangladeshi were staying here. They made Aadhaar card, they had voter ID, and they have done all necessary documentation to stay here in Bengaluru. And these people also involved in human trafficking, getting girls from Bangladesh and forcing them to get involved in prostitution. And even Bengaluru police rescued 7 girls across Bengaluru. And they also claim that these girls are being shifted to Kerala and other parts of South India and forced them to get involved in prostitution. And subsequently, we have also seen that illegal immigrant Sri Lankans who were supposed to sail to Canada had stayed in Mangalore for more than 2 months just because there was lockdown and they couldn't sail to Canada. So they had made Karnataka as a safe haven. They feel that there are not much restriction. And we have also seen women staying here in Bengaluru, a Pakistani national, for more than 5 years. And police got enough information through Central Intelligence and they have arrested her. And the recent case of converting international calls into local calls, which is an international scam, which was been busted with the help of anti-terrorist squad, and which has helped Karnataka police to arrest them. And 7 people have been arrested, and there are also allegations that these people had involved in anti-terror activities, supporting terror groups through this international cause. The investigation is on. So all these incidents clearly shows that Karnataka has become a safe haven where people are coming here, selling drugs, getting into involvement in these kind of illegal activities, getting into prostitution. So they might feel that it is a safe haven. It is high time that Karnataka government have to take action against all these people.
Nigam as well. Deshradha Nigam, you just heard Sagai Raj there. He went to one particular area. Now, see what's happened in the last 10 to 15 days. You've had one case expose the illegal infiltrators racket, a full racket involving Bangladesh and human racket, like human smuggling racket from Bangladesh. And it's not an open secret that many of them are staying without documents in large numbers. Second, you've had Sri Lankans living illegally in Bengaluru also caught out. You've had a Pakistani woman who was living in Bhatkal for 5 to 8 years, right? And then he goes to, our correspondent goes to this one area, and there are thousands and thousands of people in that one area who are illegal infiltrators. And then people ask, what's the big deal? Why are we being hard on illegal infiltrators, etc.? Are we a dumping ground?
No, we should not be a dumping ground. And in fact, let me tell you, Nilanjan, that things are very serious in India, and we have crores and crores of Bangladeshis and other immigrants. A lot of Pakistanis have vanished in India, and that number is huge also, whether they are in parts of UP or other places in India. And so far as Bangladeshis are concerned, the issue starts from West Bengal. The West Bengal has become a center for illegal immigrants to cross over the border, and they get all their Aadhaar and voter ID cards made out there, and they even purchase the property. So therefore, there is a clear nexus, political and bureaucratic nexus is also seen, which allows such kind of illegal immigration into India. Now, if you look at the statistics also, the illegal immigrants have been found in large numbers involved in the crime, whether it is rape, whether it is murder, whether it is dacoity, whether it is theft, and they have been found to be involved almost everywhere. And this has to be taken seriously, and we need to have a multi-pronged strategy along with the state government and the central government that they have to be thrown out of this country. India is not a sarai. Let us be very clear. We'll only allow people who come here legally, and when the law allows it to come, not anybody who can walk in. And these people do not have any love for the country. They are here, they are doing jihad out here, they are in fact promoting terrorism, they are the ones who are involved in making bombs and other kinds of illegal weapons. So I think Bangalore coming up as a hub, it is a software hub of the international software hub also. And at the same time, it is giving a very bad name. If such people come out there, you have just, in fact, that report that you had shown about that rape, where all of them were Bangladeshis. And this is just one case that has come up. Many crimes are not even unearthed also. So I think they have to be rooted out from this country. And suppose they are thrown out from Karnataka, they will go to some other states. I think everybody has to be on the same page, and some very strict and drastic actions need to be taken.
Let me go across to Savio Rodriguez as well, and I'm sorry to both Savio and Ratan, because Deshratan Nigam, because we were breaking the story at around 1:30 when we had those pictures from Punjab, and we had to cut across to that. But Savio, the investigation that we have done and what Sagai Raj has exposed today shows that there are well, thousands is a very conservative figure, but they could be in lakhs in just one city, hundreds and thousands in one area. Savio, illegal infiltrators is a reality that we are not comfortable. Some political parties are not comfortable discussing.
Well, you see, Niranjan, to be brutally honest, the illegal immigrants in India is actually a business. So on an average, if you take about 3.5 lakh infiltrators that come into India, or are illegal immigrants that are coming from Bangladesh or Myanmar, or even some from Pakistan, at an average of rupees 50,000, they are able to get their Aadhaar cards, they are able to get their ration cards, they are able to get their PAN cards. Now, we have been conducting our own set of studies on this. Now, if you put that amount and say about 3.5 lakhs on a year, and you multiply it into 50,000 rupees, that's a huge amount of money for any cartel that is actually allowing for these people to come into India illegally. So it's a business. This business has got the right amount of police protection, it's got the right amount of political protection, but most of all, what one cannot seem to understand is how do they go about getting the Aadhaars and the PAN cards and the ration cards when normal citizens of India don't. So what you have touched upon right now is a really tiny tip of the iceberg that's not only restricted to Bengaluru or Karnataka. It's practically in most states in the country. You have to look at places like Hyderabad, even states like Goa. You will see a lot of illegal Bangladeshi immigrants in Goa as well. The point is, it is a racket. It is a money-based racket that needs to be cracked down immediately. These are the people who are infiltrating into India, using our resources, using the loopholes in our legal systems and the shamelessness of our politicians to actually live in this country and actually go about doing things that are against this country. The rape incident in Bangalore from Bangladesh is exactly one of the examples. So the center, the Ministry of Home Affairs, must actually come and crack down, because if you actually analyze it, on an average 3.5 lakh illegal immigrants walk into India, and they do it at a business of 50,000 rupees. They get everything that they require, and they're actually they're as good as citizens. This is a racket. This is a well-oiled machine.
And let me go across, back to Sagai Raj, who did that investigation. Sagai Raj, you went to this place, right? Now, Belandur in Bengaluru. Now, this is the outskirts of the city. Many parts of Belandur is still under development. It's an area there where there is rampant construction, where construction activity takes place. Now, if you look at it, I mean, these are the kind of areas where such illegal infiltrators, come and settle down. Right now, because a lot of these areas are not fully developed, are developing, and a lot of daily wage laborers, etc., are required in places like this. Now, this is something that the state government has known, and I think the last 10 days should have come as a reality check for the government in Karnataka, where you had, shockingly, not just Bangladeshis or Rohingyas. Hold your breath. You had people from Sri Lanka, illegal immigrants from Sri Lanka. There was one from Pakistan. There was one from Pakistan as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, Niranjan. And talking about the point which you made about these people staying in the outskirts of Bengaluru, near Belanduru, talking about one such incident 2 years back when I was reporting for a different media organization. That time, there was a raid conducted by BBMP officials, and I was present at that point of time, and they were asking about the ID card and Aadhaar card which was being made by all those people staying there. Most of them claimed they are from West Bengal, as one of the guests was alleging that these people claim that they are from West Bengal, and almost everybody had ID card made in the border district of West Bengal, which is adjacent to Bangladesh. So they get very easy access. When they try to verify with the officials back in West Bengal, none of them belong to the same place. They have no houses there, they have no relatives, no family members. Still, they got ID cards made from West Bengal and staying here in Bengaluru, and for a long time. And talking about this particular incident, everything came to light when these people staying in those areas, they are rack pickers, they do other jobs, and what they do is they dump all those garbage into Belandur Lake, and they also put fire on all those garbage which has been dumped to Belandur Lake. That's when the Belandur Lake gets caught with fire. So these are the things which has been connected to the entire immigrants who stay there, who spoil the city, who pollute the lakes, and also lighting the fire on the lake. So these are the things which was being investigated by the police, but still, due to vote bank politics and pressure from the politicians, none of them are being vacated. Even if they try to vacate them, there are activities. There are activists who come out and protest against all this kind of action taken by the officials.
Question from Savio. Savio, but do you think there's going to be a crackdown? Because the moment you start talking, the harsh language, and when you talk about, because if it was some other country, they would all be detained and sent back to their countries. But the moment you start talking about that in India, there is a political fight that breaks out, right? And you sometimes feel that everybody wants to take it easy at some point. All political parties.
Well, of course, Niranjan, at the end of the day, the illegal immigrants are coming into the country because they've got political patronage. That's the reason it's a whole racket. Like I said, at 50,000 rupees, an illegal immigrant is able to get the kind of documents that legitimizes stay in India. So the point is that the Ministry of Home Affairs must actually crack down on this menace, irrespective of which political patronage the illegal immigrant is receiving. The point is, you're talking about Sri Lankans, you're talking about Bangladeshis, we're talking about Pakistanis. In the recent year to 18 months, you had Chinese, people of Chinese origin, having documents and PAN cards from India, running businesses, set up businesses in India, and actually these businesses turned out to be involved in 1,000 crore scam, 290 rupees scam, crore scams. Is this what we are talking about? So you have Bangladeshis, now you have Pakistanis, you have people from Myanmar, and now you have Chinese coming in. Now this is a whole sort of a racket going on to destabilize India as far as illegal immigrants are concerned. In fact, the Chinese turned out to be spies that work for the PLA. That's the People Liberation Army of China. So I think the MHA must take illegal immigration serious. They must even track down companies or small services that these illegal immigrants are involved in. The gentleman Lau Sang, who was responsible for the 1,000 crore rupees scam, came in with a name called Charlie Peng. He had an Aadhaar card. He had a PAN card. He claimed he was a resident of Manipur. Now how does he do that? Unless somebody in the administrative has allowed for him to go ahead and do this. He set up 4 companies on his name, registered companies. This is an illegal immigrant, a spy from China. The Ministry of Home Affairs must get serious as far as illegal immigrants are concerned. There is a real influx of illegal immigrants, and most of them, if you track it, are emerging out of Bengal. That is why Bengal was always important as far as national security threat was concerned.
Well, it's impossible that something of this scale could take place without the help of also some people within the system. Thank you for that. Thank you for joining us, Savio. And if I have enough time, Sagai, now coming to you, has the government responded to this for what's happening in the last few days?
Karnataka government have taken cognizance of it. Chief Minister said that he has spoken to officials. They will take necessary action. Remember, this is also one of the promises made by BJP government when they were campaigning for election here in the state, stating that all illegal immigrants will be chased out of the state. And they were aware about illegal Bangladeshis staying in and around Bellandur area. There was several protests carried out by then BJP, which was in opposition against Congress government, allowing these people to stay back. And they also claimed that these were the vote banks for them. And now they are into power. We need to wait and watch how they're going to take action against them. Do they have any kind of plan to deport all of them outside Karnataka in coming days?
For that, thank you, Sagairaj, and also thank you, Savio, for joining us on this broadcast.